What's going on? What's going on? Serious crew. We're back at it again with another fantastic episode. Episode number 4 of the Serious Gentleman. I got to my right, Tombstone underneath me. Yeah, baby. Flap and smack. And to his right, my man Brosing. And yes, everyone here is from Team Serious. And yes, everyone here is a serious gentleman. Yeah, everybody
Gentlemen.
go ahead and say what's up to everyone.
What's up to everyone?
What's up, everyone? It's Brosing. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back.
Before we get started with today's conversation, I just want to get a couple announcements out the way. One of the biggest milestones we had last week is our account got promoted with Gamer Grind, ! Gamer Grind in the chat. If you would like to order some, it's to help support Team Serious. You use TS and DFW at checkout to get a 5% discount on your next order of Gamer Grind. Tombstone and I have been hanging out this weekend, and we had delicious cups of Kill Streak, nice and fresh, and it's just awesome. That's one of my top. Another one to check out is Headshot and Checkpoint. All of those are delicious flavor if you're a coffee drinker, even if you like iced coffees. When you fresh get this, grind it, and then stick it on top of your ice. Do whatever it is simply delicious. One of the things we got going on this past weekend was an Overwatch fantastic 6v6, first ever for Team Serious. Major shout out to some Maze. He rolled with the punches. Let's put it that way. And a major shout out, major love. He ended up being the only one to being able to cast because everybody else, like the worst of the worst, could happen at that point. But major shout out, major love. He was able to, not only cast against it, host, stream it, and everything at the last minute, so to speak, because StreamYard apparently isn't that great at capturing that much action on one scene. So we ended up having to switch over to OBS and get him a stream key and everything else. He was able to cast it, and I know he's hard on himself, but he's a fantastic Overwatch caster. Even when I was lost, I was able to pick up on where we at in the match and everything else, and that ended up working real good. Major shout out to those first place, second place teams that went ahead and got their prize money. Much appreciated. If you'd like to get involved in any of the upcoming tournaments, ! Battlefy in the chat. We'll take you to our Battlefy website where you can sign up for your favorite esports game. We run Rocket League, we run StarCraft 2, we run Overwatch, we run Rainbow Six Siege, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, and yes, even League of Legends. So get involved, get in the chat, sign up, join the Discord. You'll find a Discord link at the front of our page, teamseriesdfw.com, or ! Discord in the chat will get you into our community. Get involved, get to playing, and everything else. And then going on right now, I'll shut up and let Tombstone start talking and give us our first topic. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody has had a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, so last week we got to start off on really good conversation. I kind of want to continue on that route today a little bit, talking about communities and community, and how your experiences have differed from everyone else's. So I kind of want to start with Flap and ask you, just in a streaming mindset, do you think it's better to involve yourself in a community? Do you believe it's better to lead your own community? Do you believe it's better to stay separate from communities? And what do you think, especially for like a new streamer or a young up and coming streamer, what do you think is the best route to go?
I think it depends on you as a person. Some people thrive in talking in a channel and getting to know people, making friends like I did. But I met people through streaming who haven't joined any communities, have gone at their own, and they've done absolutely fantastically. I couldn't be happier to have joined GST and gotten to where I am today because of it. I think if I hadn't have done that, I would have been in a totally different place in my life. So I think it's beneficial.
We're going to sit here quietly and let you just keep talking.
What?
It's a long road. It's dark.
And you're going to travel it all alone. No, I mean,
Yep.
So I think, Natso said it kind of in the opening that we've had we had a chance to sit down and talk about this and talk about why we joined communities. But I think you're right. I think some people don't want to, but I think also you have to consider that you may struggle at first because you don't have that surrounding community built. And if you're going to lead your own, it takes time to build it. So that's kind of where we were going to. Is it's dependent, but I think it's at the same time when you first start, it's really nice to join a community, but I think it's harder if you don't. I think it's harder if you go at it alone like Brosing did.
Yeah, I don't think I could run my own community. It's too much fucking work, man. Way too much work. I don't know how everyone does it.
Can I go?
No.
I got words.
Go ahead, my man.
I'm a bit I don't have a community. I'm in communities, but I'm in gaming communities. I'm not really in a streaming community anymore. I think streaming communities were popular and worked maybe in 2017 and a little bit of 2018. But when Lurker TV was a thing, when Follow for Follow was at its highest, I feel like that really damaged the value you could get out of a streaming community. It became like just a follow train or a going live spam. Gaming communities now that have
that's where it's at.
Yeah, I really think that's the new thing because it's strict on self promo. There's either a dedicated channel or limited promotion. You're not there to talk about streaming. You're there to talk about the games you enjoy. And that's really the best way to meet from a streamer's perspective. Concurrent and viewers who come back to your stream, people who enjoy the same games as you are where you're going to start finding those reoccurring viewers. And where do you find those people? With the people you're gaming with. I mean, case in point, my buddy Zanlier I've been gaming with Zanlier since like 2011, long before streaming was even in our minds, dude. And we just liked the same games, and then we met other people that liked the same games. And when I started streaming, I already had like 6 or 7 people behind me that I gamed with, regularly at night. So, I think streaming communities had its era, but the gaming community, the non-streaming focus is where it's at for streamer growth. As weird as that sounds.
So what you're saying is everyone should join Team Cirrus.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
And smash their Twitch links into the general every morning. So that the mods have to wake up and go to work every single morning.
There's going to be a flood of links in there tomorrow. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I think when we talk about gaming communities versus streaming communities, I don't think that I would have noticed the difference when I first started. I wouldn't have noticed the difference. Until you start seeing the structure of those communities, when we discussed this, we talked about the pyramid scheme basically, because when we talk about a few of those communities, I don't want to call them out by name, but there was 1 or 2 people at the top, and they demanded you to focus your support and time into them. And then they slowly started pressing that down to the next rank. And those communities they fail all the time. I know when I first started, I was just joining Discords for the fun of it. I mean, I wasn't talking in any of them. I was just joining them, see who I could meet and who I could pick up. And I started noticing that those things were just dying off one after the next. I mean, they were like flies. It was awful.
I can remember the owner of one of my Discord when I very first started adding everyone and just saying something to the regards of, we have 200 people in here. Why am I not getting 200 viewers? That was like a legit thing that he stood behind. That was a real post. He felt that the people joining the Discord should all view the owner's stream every time he was live. And that was his partner plan. This is this is back when as soon as you hit 75, they pretty much threw you an application and a check mark. It's way different now, of course, but he was frustrated. And that's when I kind of knew, like, dude, I'm not like, this is totally Ponzi. This is a pyramid right here of we're all just here and hearing these, what's the analogy? He's basically just saying what we all want to hear and expecting views in return. That was a very popular thing to him.
Yeah. I joined one and I told Natsu this, that I joined one and it was the same thing. And even inside of GST, we had that happen, right? We had a couple people who really felt, because of their position within GST, that they deserved that. And Natsu had several. I mean, gosh, there were more stories than I even had, that of times where people were saying that behind my back and I had no idea. That, you know, oh, I'm a founder, or oh, I'm a mod and I deserve this much respect and this much support. And it's that, when that goes from what you want to an expectation, you start to lose track of who you are. And we've talked about this a lot. When you get into streaming, you start losing track of who you are. But we talked about, like, Natsu said that he had a couple times where he would go into birthday streams and he was donating money in games, and it was never enough for these people. You know, it was never enough that to just have busy around. And to me, that mentality is so BS that I can't imagine myself falling into that. Like, when you guys come into my stream and you say, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, damn, Brosine actually had time for me. I like this. Like, this is cool. That's enough for me. For some people, it just wasn't. And that's crazy to me.
So I have 2 points on that, and Toom and I have had this good discussion in the past before several times, so we know where we kind of stand. I felt that a lot of people would complain about nobody being on their schedule, in a sense where they're streaming in the middle while I'm working. I still go show up, remote into one of my boxes, and throw a tab open, let them know I'm here, more than likely probably listening. But the biggest drawback to that is that then they started stipulations of, if you're going to come hang out, you need to talk to me. And then it was never enough. You just kept falling into this hole. But then you were like, okay, so if we're in these quote unquote streaming communities, I've joined a ton. It was always the same reoccurring story. Link dropping everywhere. Nobody got to know anyone. The only reason there was a Discord full of 4,000 people is so they can come in there and drop their links and never actually be a part of the community. But even to their support, it's only support me when I'm streaming. When you're offline, I spend a lot of time, and everybody knows in this chat, I spend a lot of time offline supporting those people. And what, you know, a lot of the times I got burned because I'm putting time and effort, you know, on my spare time that I don't stream to come help y'all, but y'all can't do the same. Right? Only when I stream, everybody needs to come see me. And that's why I have such a bad taste in my mouth with streaming. And then going back to the second point where Brosing was saying, you know, in a gaming community, if you actually get to know people, they will follow you. So don't sit here and just link drop. Get to know the community. Next thing you know, you're picking up 6-7 new buddies, and then they find out you do a YouTube channel. And instead of just link dropping YouTube links in my Discord, get to know people. And they'll be like, oh, cool. I liked your latest video. You start finding out things. Like, even to this day, I'll get text messages and I'll get DMs saying, hey, dude, you're doing good with TSDFW. I haven't talked to that person in like 2 months. I'm still checking in the Discord. I just don't say much. You're doing great, dude. I saw your last podcast. Like, I literally got this weekend a couple of those DMs. I'm like, I didn't even know you were paying attention. Yeah, dude, I've just been real busy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, life happens. So bring it back to the emphasis. I always say that in Team Serious, we're a gaming community first. Everything else is next. But for those people that have spent the time, dedication, got to know me, hang out with me, game with me, and the rest of Team Serious, yeah, I'll throw a bot up there. If you have Discord, if you have your Discord all configured, the bot will just throw your live status up, because those to me are the people that are putting time into Team Serious, but at the same time they're putting time into me. Not just me, though. I don't want it to sound it's just about me. They got to know the community, come and hang out with us, play games. So I feel like they're on a different level than some people that just come into the Discord just to link drop.
They're not just going Discord by Discord with the live now spam, dropping their links in all the promo channels of the communities they hot join. They're part of Team Serious. You know, they're here just like, hey guys, you know, we're gonna be playing Diablo together in 5 minutes. If you want to watch me get all the loot that's way better than your loot, here you go. Right. See my link.
Well, I think you've hit on something earlier. I mean, those people that have something in common with you, right? They're always interested in seeing it. And I know Bella Thomas, who's normally on here with us, he did the same thing, right? He found these games where he could show interesting videos, right? And so whether it's Diablo or Division 2 or whatever, he was going out there and spending a lot of time getting invested in these games, and he built a huge following on those games. But now that he's starting to change his focus, those people that he's gotten to know they're still following him. Like they're still going to go with him. They're not just going to say, "Oh, you're not playing Division 2 bye." You know, that's not the way humans work. And so for these people make me giggle whenever they caught me completely off guard. I'm sorry. But in a community like GST, we wanted it to be a gaming community, but because people were working behind the scenes and there was so much back channel talk, it basically became a streaming community, and it was something we tried to avoid, but it was very difficult to avoid.
I mean, it didn't really help that it was called Global Stream Team.
You're right.
Mhm.
Shut up.
Yeah, kind of missed the mark with that one, didn't we?
A little bit on the name.
Later on, when we sat there and talked about it, I was like, what, you know, I wasn't a part of the initial conversation of, you know, the name, but then it was so hard to get away from the name because everything was centered. The minute you said global stream, I'm like, oh, we're done. Like, let's just start over.
Bring the fire, let it burn. It's fine.
I can't remember how we picked the name.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it was me, but it was probably me.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So that's a funny conversation. We sat around GST before it became a Discord, guys, was a little Twitter group. We had like a set of DMs that went back and forth between 8 or 9 people, and we tried to figure out it's a interesting thing when you have 8 people trying to work for a common goal, but everybody sees it different, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody there wanted to see GST, and I think every community does this. When you first sit down and you're like, we're going to start a community, everybody's like, well, what's the end goal? And everybody, if you talk with a bunch of young people who have no clue about how to plan or project plan, they just say, let's get big. Okay, but what the hell does that mean? Right? How do you get there? And this is why, like, Natsu and I have talked about this. This is why I love Team Series, because Team Series has a defined goal, 30, 60, 90. Where the hell are we going? And if we don't get there, how are we going to adjust to fix it? GST was meant as a streaming community, but I had a different vision. Diana had a different vision. A couple of our other members that, again, we'll just leave their names out of here. They had a completely different goal in mind. And so when you have 8 people trying to work to a common goal, but 4 of them have one way to get there or 4 of them have another way, it is extraordinarily difficult to get it going. And it finally became me just using a hammer and beating it to death until we got it moving. And Flap can attest to this. There were times where I just told everybody, sit down, shut up, and get on for the ride. And it really took that to move it. And that's, in the end, that's exactly why it fell apart, because we had way too many differing opinions and way too many people in leadership roles who had a say, and I could not differentiate between them.
There was a lot of people who didn't make it out of that Twitter conversation and into the Discord.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people left on their own accord.
Yeah.
I was never a part. I downloaded WhatsApp like 8 weeks ago. Still waiting for that too. You know, available status is on. So yeah,
wait,
right here.
Send us your fucking number.
That guy.
So you got to do.
You know, I think it's hard though for, you know, when you're building a community, I think finding people who are down for the cause without an ulterior motive or a selfish motive behind the scenes is difficult. You know, how many people are like, there's a lot of people with this mindset. Yeah, I want to be part of that community because I know I could probably grow huge in that community. They add that little tail end piece in their mind. They don't say anything, but that's their ulterior motive. And they're not about like all the other angles that it takes to build the community as a whole. They're more about which angles am I most interested in that'll probably benefit me as well. You know, and I think that's what kind of starts to tilt the boat. You know, it starts rocking it where, well, this guy kind of only helps when he wants to, or this guy only likes competitive stuff, or when he has, you know, we've all seen Discord comments where they're like, well, another stream with no views. Bro, as soon as you say that, I mark you as someone not to watch, because you're just going to complain. If I show up, you're going to complain about me being the one guy who shows up. You're not going to be happy that you had me show up. You know, that's not enough to Natsu's point. And I think you know what Toom said earlier, like when people join my stream, especially people that maybe I haven't seen in a few months, I'm like, this guy could have done anything else. There's millions of Twitch streams. There's all the other platforms. There's outside. He chose to sit down and go, I'm gonna pay attention to this dude for 30 minutes with what he's doing because I like watching this guy. You know, I tell people on my stream constantly, I go, do not sub anymore. I'm over that shit. Don't do any of that stuff.
Same.
Like, let's just hang out. If you sub, well, that's on you, man. I mean, that's cool. I'll always be like excited that somebody did that, but I'm not about that anymore. I don't even care about the follower goals. I got my group of friends that I like showing up, you know? I got a good spot.
It goes
And-
back to what you're going to put in, what are you trying to get out of it. Mine was just to meet fantastic people like you guys. I met y'all through streaming, right? My goal was never to be the next Ninja or the next Dr. D. That was never my goal. I could care less about your subs or anything else, in a sense like, thank you, I appreciate y'all, but you don't have to sub to come hang out. You don't have to be in my chat all the time because everybody has lives. And I like how you said that outside's an option. It's not an option for a lot of us. COVID-19 still strong right now, y'all. Y'all stay safe.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's true. Right now,
Put your
yes.
masks on. Damn. You know, it's interesting you said it because us four in this environment, we talk about our friends, right? We talk about our buddies. We talk about those people that we want to hang out with, but it's totally different than what you hear in these channels. Like I'll pop into a random Discord every now and again to see what's going on, and you hear, "Oh, my viewers, oh, my followers," and it's almost demeaning. Like, do I mean nothing more to you than that little number? Do I mean nothing more than a little speck on your channel? So it's demeaning, it's degrading, and I've tried to get now I don't stream, but I've gotten myself away just saying this is my best viewer, this is my greatest follower. How about my friend? You know, Twisted's like a brother to me. Not so, and I've been so close, bros. And I met you really early in my streaming time. Flap and I've always been close, and we've talked a million times outside of streaming and offline that nobody sees. And it's always friendship. It's not viewership or subscribers or viewer support. I hate those terms. So
Sage brought up a good thing. Yeah, she said if someone just wants to give to you or your channel, and may or may not want anything in return, how do you approach that? And I have one of those that are still around, a whale. If you guys ever heard that term, and for those that haven't heard that term, a whale is somebody with just boatloads of money for some reason that fixates on one channel and just donates, gives what I mean. The end result is I still know this guy, and he just gave me 2 AMD RX 5700s or something. He gave me 2 of them. He just like, dude, I don't need these. Here, take them. And I go, my first thought was, are these stolen? Like, what? You just giving me these cards? But there are people out there that they just mean well. That's just how they are. He doesn't expect anything. He just likes, if I text him sometimes, I'm like, what's up, man? I've met him in real life. He's just a good guy with no ulterior motive. He just has a lot of money, you know? And I take it with, I'm gracious, but if he or any whale ever, was like, now, since I did that, you have to do this, ban. I would stop it right. I really would just stop it right there, because what Toom was saying, I'm here for friends, man. I'm not here to, you gave me this, now I got to do this. It doesn't work like that in streaming for me.
Yeah, I'm not into that. Sorry. And that almost makes me uncomfortable. Even thinking about it, that makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Like, not the fact that because I've had people like Notso has helped me so much with audio. I can't tell you. I've got all kinds of audio equipment from Notso because his family and my family are extraordinarily close. But if I had somebody come in and you're right. My first thought would be, what the hell's going on here? But then the moment they said they expected something in return, that's the end of that.
Timoleon is my whale.
Is he?
And
If resident
that
sleeper
guy too.
emotes were money, I'd be rich. Okay. I love you, Timoleon. You're out there somewhere.
Wherever you are trolling us again.
The only thing I have to say to Flat's comment is I just support my homies. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the best thing for you, not so that I've noticed is come hang out, play games, come talk, come be human, and that's payment enough for you, right? That's payment enough for a lot of us. I know whenever I'm sitting in UV, I'll just sit in the chill chat room, or I'll just sit in, the Discord per Team Serious, and randomly people join me and come talk. Like last night, I'm driving home 3 hours, we're on the road for 3 more hours, and we stop in at a gas station, and I just pop into chill chat, and I was expecting somebody else, but Philip Thomas jumps in and says, "Hey bud, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, you caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting you to see me." And we had a good 5-minute conversation about life and just what's going on. How are things going? And that's the kind of friendships that I like. The random 3 o'clock in the morning texts or something deeper than what you see on screen.
Yeah.
Sage mentioned something in chat as well. They also send me snacks. The Canadian snacks, top banana.
Oh, you don't like
Fantastic.
American snacks, huh? You're just gonna fixate on the Canadians? All right,
Well,
no more oatmeal cream pies for you, buddy. Never again.
Want any biscuits and gravy, Flap?
Don't
Oh,
talk
man.
to me.
Biscuits and gravy.
He doesn't understand American biscuits and gravy,
Yeah.
man. It's a staple here.
It's not gravy. It's looks like paste and scones.
All right, we can move on. I shouldn't have brought this up. That's my bad.
No, I'm good with
I'll take the L on that one, guys. That was me. I shouldn't have went down that route.
You put gravy on your cookies? That's
Here
what I always tell them.
Here we go, bro.
Wait, are they
Started it.
cookies? Are they? I don't even know what they're called.
Y'all might as well cut out a 30-minute segment for this conversation, yo. He'll go to war over this.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let it out.
Look at
Go
his
ahead.
face. He's so ready. He goes, I'm not. I've been
We're already
waiting.
here. Go ahead.
Oh, he just,
Mm-mm.
he just, hit it. He just finished his drink and poured another one. He goes, oh, no. We ain't about to talk about gravy here.
Nah, it's not
No?
worth it.
No biscuits.
No,
Sure?
not worth it. Yeah.
So, getting back to our previous conversation, there were a couple people who we've run into that had that mentality, right? And they had the mentality that you have to support me no matter what. And if you didn't, well, then we just couldn't be friends. So when you come across those people, do you deal with them the same way? Do you just cut them out and say, you said you bookmark them as somebody not to go view, but is there anything else that you did behind the scenes to try to rectify it, or did you just let it go?
You call them out. Tell them you're being a cunt. Stop it.
I do call out, and I do it respectfully, but I make sure to make those situations public because one, nobody likes to be called out in public, but two, it lets everyone know, like, hey, here's the transparency. This is how I like to run my stream. This is how I like to run my Discord, whatever the situation may be. And I still want you to be a part of this, but you cannot act like that. And I don't say it like an asshole or belittle that person. It's just, yo, we don't do that here, but let's just keep rolling. If it kind of continues after that, it'll probably be, honestly, for me, like a shadow ban. I wouldn't make a big deal out of the ban. I would just remove them and then we're done. I've never actually really had those kind of situations with random people, with people I know. I just don't have a problem with anybody. I'm part of so many different circles that just kind of blended together. So fortunate not to have to do that too many times.
I just let it go. I guess I'm just exhausted. I've been around way too long,
You old as
And-
fuck.
and
yeah, it's because you're old.
and it's like a repetition. It's rinse and repeat. It's link droppage, Twitter tagging, and all these other things that it gets exhausting after a while. And then you see
Yeah.
all these new kids coming in and wanting to be the next ninja, don't realize how much hard work that is. Expecting immediate results. And that's why I always separate. We're a gaming community guy. I mean, if you stream, that's cool, but don't come in here link dropping. They literally, like, we had one that joined the other day and link
Yeah.
drop in general and then left. Like,
Immediately
what,
left.
what was the point of that? Like nobody's gonna follow that guy. Like stop it. Like come be a
Yeah.
part of the community first. Get to know people, and trust me, you build those long lasting relationships, and you don't have to worry about you having to go to Twitter and say nobody comes and watches my stream, la la la, and cry because there's a lot of those
Mhm.
posts every day.
The thing is, they must see some sort of return on it, otherwise they wouldn't carry on doing it.
I think the newer guys just don't know any better. I honestly think it's innocent from new. I'm talking about new people, but they see other people, their friends doing it, people who are very small, just trying to get their name out there, and they maybe just don't know any better. They don't know how rude it comes off. Some people
So-
do. Some people take advantage. Go ahead, Tim.
So, as somebody who's studied psychology a lot, you're absolutely right. There has to be a return to that because it sooner or later reinforces that behavior. But I don't think it's reinforced through streaming. I think it's reinforced in their personal lives. In their personal lives, they go to their mom and dad and they say, "Oh, my life sucks." And mom and dad pamper it and they reinforce that behavior and they give them that return. And so their entire life is based around this woe is me concept. Every time I pity myself, other people will pity me too. And that is a life lesson that you have to learn. And, you know, as a parent with my kids, when my son says, you know, I suck at this game, he's looking for that attention. He wants me to tell him he's not or that he doesn't. He wants me to tell him why he doesn't. And I won't. I'll just say, well, get better, practice. And
Get good, scrub.
that's the kind of thing that you have to do to not reinforce those bad habits. But that is not I think you're right. I think new people do it because they've seen it before and they think it might work. But I think that that's a personality thing. I don't think that has anything to do with streaming. It's just something they do in their personal life.
Yeah.
What was the last question? Sorry.
When
All
do you
right,
feel
so-
you have when do you feel you have to step away or take a break from streaming or even just Discord for a time, whether short or for a long-term time, and why? What would you do it?
We're all well versed in taking breaks. All of us have
Taz.
taken.
Taz says this best. Like it's straight to the point. When it feels like a job, you need to step away because
feels like work.
you're not having fun. If you're sweating over every small detail, if you go to bed and you're mad that your numbers aren't where you expected them to be, if it feels like you put in all this effort for not a small payoff, go chill. Go. You know, and if you've built that community, and I'm speaking like, you know, the five of us, I could take 9 months off. I did take 9 months off for my son. I didn't
Right.
do anything. I wasn't around. Everyone's still here. Your friends are still going to be here when you come back, you know? So the job thing that Taz always says spoke to me for that question.
I decided it was time to take a break when Rosine stopped streaming. I thought there's no point anymore. What's the point of life? You know.
That's me with Philip Thomas, man. The goat walked away. I had nobody else to aspire to be like, so gotta walk away too. No, I mean, so whenever I took my break, it wasn't like I didn't take a break from my friends. I was still there for those guys. I still talked every day to those people. You know, I checked in on you, Brosine, while you were gone. I checked in dozens of times. But it was a clean break. No Twitter, no streaming, no Twitch. Like I would have my normal streams up that I would lurk on, but I wasn't participating. It was a clean break. I didn't do anything for about 10 months. And then I started getting more active back in GST a little bit, trying to get it kickstarted. And then, you know, we decided to go our own ways with that. But then I started reinvigorating things, but it was on my terms now. And I think that's the biggest thing that when we talked with Philip last week about this is when I made a return or when I started coming back or now that you've come back, it's on your terms. It's no longer on the streaming community's terms. It's on yours. You make your decisions now based on you, and you have a whole new mindset. No subs or no sub goals, no follower goals, things like that. You came back at your own pace. And I think that's important is you have to come back on your terms. So it doesn't feel like work.
I agree with that. I would like to say though, Brosing, if you could do your bro show earlier, that would be excellent, please.
It's hard to accommodate for the UK time zone, man. You guys are just so far ahead. If only the
tried
UK
so
could
damn
just be
hard
in the
to stay
middle of
awake
the
last
ocean.
night.
I mean, you can always catch it on YouTube.
We are in the middle of the ocean. Have you ever
Well-
looked at a map?
Debatable.
Your hair looks like you've been in an ocean. Jesus.
I watched it especially for today.
Oh
Nothing I can
no.
do about it. At least I've got hair to wash.
Ouch. Damn.
Mm,
I see
yeah.
how this is gonna be. You better pour another drink.
I'm using it to numb the pain of my face.
Wow.
My cheek is absolutely killing.
What'd you do to your cheek?
Tearing down the ceiling on Friday. Been up there for 105 years. There was a brick chilling in the ceiling and it fell and it hit me in the cheek and it hurts.
Only you, Flap. Can you stream that next time
Yep.
for me? Because
Sounds like something
God,
out of a
no.
cartoon.
We don't even have many
Yep.
buildings 100 years old over here.
but not
This is
so,
just
I mean,
this is a relatively new house.
that's
was-
ridiculous.
I always like when you post your construction photos where you're just covered in mud and dirt randomly on Discord. Just be like, "Hey guys, I'm here in a pit."
Yep.
You know, like
I'm alive. I'm hating life. Let's go.
All right, so this is
Right.
actually a wonderful transition into my next topic. I kind of want to hear things that, we're here. We got Notso, Tomb, Flap, Brosine. We've been around the block with all these people that are in chat. We know them all very well. But let's discuss a little bit about the things that people don't know about us. Let's talk a little bit about the stuff that Herschel does on the side, right? So I'll leave it to you. I'll talk for a minute so you guys can think of what you want to say. But
How deep do you want to go?
I don't want to know your sex change.
not the dark side, Flap. Keep
Okay.
that private.
That's
You
That's
have to
the issue.
explicitly tell him that, or he will not go there.
I must discriminate. We don't need
Absolutely.
to know about your underwear. So in my spare time, I really love sports.
Underwear?
And my underwear. I'm sorry. So I really enjoy sports, and I think that the COVID issue is hard for a lot of people. But the one thing that's really hurt me is Saturday mornings. I can't turn on college football. I can't find my favorite baseball game on at night. And to a point, it's actually helped because it's freed up a lot of my time. But even when I log in and watch something as simple as WWE and I'm looking at one of their pay-per-views or whatever, and there's no crowd, right? It's so odd to me that there's no fans anywhere. And so this is completely crippling to me. But as a teacher, as a psychology major, there's always things that I'm looking at behind the scenes that I always want to go deeper and find out why things are broken. And boy, this COVID thing's kicking my ass because I can't stand this new sense of normal yet. I haven't gotten there. And so as Tomb, I put on this nice smiley face and I try to laugh with you guys, but I don't allow people to see how much this is affecting me. Herschel, the guy, me, when I'm talking to my wife or I'm talking to my friends or I'm talking to Notso or whoever I'm talking to, you're starting to see the cracks in my facade because this stuff's really bothering me. I can't stand this new sense of normalcy. When I walk out into a store and I see masks everywhere, it's killing me.
Yeah.
Where'd you go, Notso? Oh, there. Oh, wait. He's flashing me a little bit. But, to my point,
Hey.
I just kind of want to talk to you guys about what you do. What do you do for work? I'm a high school history teacher. I'm a baseball football coach. And that's kind of what's gotten me through. But I think that when we start to talk about who we are as people, that creates a greater sense of communion and community with us and between us.
I fully agree, dude. That's kind of why I started the bro show thing. Is I wanted to get to know my friends and people have an interest, to know what streamers are like when they're not streaming. I don't get too personal with it, but it's always nice to hear stories when they're not just live and focused on the singular game and chat. It's nice and refreshing to hear people I watch all the time sit down for 30 minutes to an hour and just have a conversation about random stuff. It's insightful. But like you, I am a fan of college football. I'm a big Clemson Tigers fan. I'm very disappointed that, with how things are going right now, the Tigers game on Saturday and the Browns game on Sunday was always a routine for me. Something I always looked forward to. Brittany and I are big Browns fans. Baker Mayfield. There was before all this, there was excitement building in this city. It's kind of flatlined with all this going on. It's like, how are the Browns going to do? Well, I don't really have time to think about that right now, unfortunately, with all this stuff going on. But, I can't wait for football to get back. Some things I do outside of, when I'm not doing the bro show or something is I like doing yard work, believe it or not. I hate it and love it. I don't like my yard looking like crap, so that's the hate part. But then I love when it's done and I get to see like my yard actually looks good. I don't think I'll ever be the pristine, use the lawn chemicals type guy, but I don't like having dirt and weeds everywhere. So I've been focusing on that a lot. That's like my get out of the house activity. I'm recently learning how to shoot. I'm going to try and share my screen on StreamYard. I have a small clip I can show from this weekend. Let me see if this works. Please, God, work. I've never done this before. There we go. Let me know if you guys can see this. Can you see? Oh, there we go. Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
there.
Oh, it works real clean. Yeah, so this is my Instagram. As you can see, my son is like the majority of my other hobbies. Okay, I hang out with my son all the time. Here's him at the pool. But enough of
Can we
that
go to
kid.
that second picture, please?
Y'all see him all the time. Oh, this picture right here. Now we'll skip that one. We could go. I've been skateboarding since 2002, so a very long time. With Jace, I haven't skated as much, but these were like the first pics of me skateboarding ever. Oh, whoops! Don't I have other pictures here. I don't know how to switch it on this platform, but yeah, that was like my brother taking a picture of me in 2002 skateboarding. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of on my new board
Having fun
showing
with it.
off. Yeah. But hopefully this isn't loud. Let me turn this down. This is me learning how to shoot. This is my first time at the range. I recently bought a pistol. I have a high heel, as you notice if you're a shooter.
About to say, what's up with that dude's left shoulder that you hate so much?
But yeah, I was just me and my brother. My brother's big into shooting. I always wanted to learn, and yeah, that's my new hobby now is get out of the house, spend a little bit of family time with him. And I'm not the greatest shot, but it sure is fun to learn something new, for self-defense. And whenever we're allowed to do CCW in the future, all the courses here are canceled because of Corona. I plan on taking that as well.
Yeah,
What's
that's
CCW?
pretty awesome, man.
It's concealed carry. It allows you to conceal a firearm on your person in public.
Okay.
He's UK. He
Okay.
doesn't understand firearms. Talk knives. He's got that.
Oh, harsh. Harsh. I'm, as you're all painfully aware, I am an open book. So everything. What the hell is that? Is that cat's
It's
out?
a cat. Leave him alone.
Is it?
Go back to your open book story. I'm interested.
Good Lord, I'm an open book. I've sent you all very inappropriate pictures. Yeah,
Not of you.
You know.
Please don't say it that way.
yeah,
I
man.
won't join the WhatsApp group after all. I guess.
yeah. I wouldn't. There's not much
awful.
that you guys don't know about me.
There's some things.
Honestly-
Let's leave those behind closed doors, though.
Well,
Flap,
yeah,
Flap, what do you do
honestly.
for fun outside of gaming?
I drink.
I'm sure the audience doesn't know about your BMX career. Everybody
right?
here knows about the BMX career. Are you serious?
I think so. Pretty sure you're all friends on
Yeah,
Facebook.
us four. But what about the people
Okay.
that are-
I used to be heavy into mountain biking. So much so that I was on the cusp of doing it for a living, but I fell off. I broke my leg multiple times and I had to give it up. And I was learning to to backflip as a kid. I think I was 13, 14. I broke my thigh. I tore my ACL. Tore the cartilage between the meniscus cartilage.
All right, we shouldn't
had
have
a
talked
soft
about
tissue
this.
damage. That was the first time I did it. The second time, hyperextended it. I saw the sole of my foot from the front.
I'm
Tore the
numb.
ACL again. More soft tissue damage. So now I can't support my weight on my right foot. So I had to stop. There you go.
Oh, that's brutal.
You could have
Do you
just been like,
feel-
I did a backflip or something.
Yeah.
I did many backflips. I took my hands off the
Yay.
handlebars.
There's a cool
took my
clip
feet
out
off the
there.
pedals.
That backflip clip you
The
sent
cool
me,
clip?
man. Yeah, in Discord
Oh.
you sent me
Oh,
you did a
God.
flare, no hander flare.
Yeah. You like that one, did you?
Well, I didn't know that about you, so seeing you do it was pretty cool. Yeah.
There is a video
It's the
somewhere.
one talent outside of drinking he has.
Jeez.
There's a video somewhere of me losing an entire day from my memory.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a good one. It was we're playing on a step down, which if anyone doesn't know is when the takeoff of the jump is higher than the landing. So
We call that, and
it
I'm
was
not
on-
kidding. I'm not kidding at all. We call that a Euro here in the United States. It's a Euro gap. Yeah, it's a Euro step or a Euro gap.
okay.
I've always heard it.
So it was about a 30-foot gap. I thought, I'm going to try and flip it. And I'd been recording like footage for everyone else most of the day. So I'd ridden a little bit, but I decided to try and flip it on like the third or fourth run, I think. I get about halfway through the rotation. I have to bail. I land about 30 foot to the floor on my back. And then I have no idea just what other people have told me. I was...
Yep.
It's
Pass
got to
on
be
all
a
that.
weird feeling where you just feel it's like you just blinked and the day is over.
Yeah, I remember laying on the floor with all my friends around me, on my back hurting. That's about it from that day. Everything else I've said is from people telling me what happened. I don't remember anything else.
There's nothing. It's just blank, huh?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Did y'all see that? Him trying to think and like fumes coming out. Did y'all see that?
The steam was releasing.
Yeah. I actually found my helmet a couple of weeks ago, and no idea why, but there's a blood smear over the top of it in the shape of a tire. Part of it was on film. I'll try and find it.
Was it your arm that bled all over it? I mean,
I haven't a clue. Not a clue.
it's an interesting thing to. I mean, I think that when you deal with concussions, I think it's normal to have a momentary lapse of consciousness and memory. But when you're talking about an entire day, like that's a really tough one.
That's brain damage territory.
Yeah, that's not good. It's like being passed out for a few hours. This is not good for you.
No. Mm. Oh, I'm going to try and find it. Not so
finding
you do you.
Wait, what did I hear?
You do
Not
you.
so don't want to tell us
Oh.
who he is, man.
Nope.
First name not so, last name busy. I'm here.
He's running Steam when he's not.
Yeah,
training or
What
the
a bunch of
community.
jerks.
Team CEO. If you need anything, just reach out.
I like to a lot of times separate, unless you got to know me, I like to have that separation between what I do in real life and what I do in streaming. It's just a thing that I do. What I
Can I
will
just
say.
add?
Go
Can I
ahead.
just add? Even if you do know him, he won't fucking tell you anyway.
Wrong.
I've been trying for the past probably
You
6
just
or
gotta
7
go
months.
visit him and get drunk. I mean, it's don't drink the coconut cream. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just restarted my digestive system because of it. So
Going back to that, the only thing I will say high level is I'm an IT guy. I've been doing IT for 15 years. So that's but I always get hit up by, hey, my computer's broken, or hey, the bot doesn't work, come fix it.
It's only funny because it's true. But
Yeah.
that, you actually had again, we just naturally do these segues, but I kind of want to bring up Philip Thomas's question now because it's a good time for us to do it. But, do you allow people or people in school, in-laws, outsiders to know you stream, or do you try to keep those two separate? For me, I don't mind if they know, but like I don't go to the people that I know and invite them to my stream. My parents have never been to one of my streams ever, and I'm not sure they ever will. My brother has joined the gaming community more so he'll visit every now and again. I do have friends in my communities that I have brought in from my real life. Like my friend Brandon, he comes in, Sneakers O'Toole. I think all of you know him. Tatiana, she's been a lifelong friend of mine. Even Shem's kid in chat, we've been lifelong friends. But I definitely don't go around telling people I stream. I definitely don't have a self-service like that where I'm just walking around saying, "Hey, visit my stream."
Right.
I don't do that. Now I don't purposely build a wall, but I don't go out there asking. That's not what I do.
Very select people in my real life know or come by or do what I do, and mainly it's because I can't trust those people not to bring up personal information that I don't want shared. Not that I'm hiding anything like expose or crazy. I just don't want my real name or address or location being talked about. Like if we hung out the previous day or something, I don't want them mentioning that kind of stuff. I like that a bit of anonymity or privacy, and I also don't want to have to tell them something like, yeah, you can come on my stream, but you can't say this and you can't. So I just leave it out.
Same.
I just don't really say anything. And I have been burned with certain people that, I'm friends with through lifting or at the gym. Like, yeah, I do a stream. And they come on my stream and they talk like they talk to me in the gym, which is very bro and vulgar and not how I run my stream community at all. So there's also that conflict of lifestyle. What am I going to do? Ban my friend that I see every day? It just puts me in an uncomfortable situation. So I just kind of leave it out because, I hang out with them when I'm not streaming, see my family when I'm not streaming, and the stream is like my me time.
I would say I'm the same way on this set. I built everything separate, again, dividing that line. And sometimes it kind of does intermingle mainly on Facebook, but everything else is separate. Like everything is not so busy. I don't even have a personal Twitter. I only have a not so busy Twitter. I only have a not so busy Instagram. I don't have anything private. The only one that ever kind of reaches that border is my Facebook, but that's more promoting the community than promoting myself. But at the end of the day, I'm with you on that. The way they know me at work, and then me being a little more vulgar with my stream, and kind of the way I am, especially when half the time I'm drinking when I'm streaming. I don't want that. Hey, remember this time? And then they start giving out location details, and so it's nothing embarrassing, so to speak. It's just a little too much information that I like to keep that segmented privacy. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you lived over here, or you're around this place, or you work here." I'm like, nobody really needs to know that per se. You know what I mean?
There's far too many crazy people in this world who constantly give out information. I definitely don't want my personal address or anything else like that to be shared out there. That's too much.
And it doesn't take much, man. You never know, like more often than not, something crazy is not going to happen. That's probably safe. But it's the one time somebody mentions like restaurant X that they just happen to have that restaurant X in their town. And now they know you're going there. So they just happen to go and they luck out and it's your town. Now you're with a random person outside of, you know what I'm saying? There's just situations that it's worth not being in like that. I know that's like a random one that hypothetical, but better safe than sorry. I always say, especially when I'm with my kid in real life, 99% of the time, if I'm going out now,
Yeah. So he asked the follow-up question. He said, you do the streaming, you get a big break. Will those two lines inevitably have to meet? how are you going to handle that? Because he's right. If you do get your big break, you do make it big. People are going to start to know. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But Sage asked a pretty good question too. What happens when family just naturally shows up? And I've had this. That's one that I had to deal with. Was I had a friend of mine who joined our Discord, and then he randomly showed up in my stream, and I didn't know how to talk to it. I tried. I just didn't know how. So if you do make it big, how are you going to handle those two lines crossing? I
think that's a different. Oh wait, is this before I go into that? Is this Flap?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the fall, is it? Oh no, I don't want to watch this. Oh, the bike
Oh.
impale.
That is literally it.
Ah,
Mm.
why'd you
And
do
you
that
woke
to
up.
me?
Mm.
Don't show that again.
Good one, huh?
Does not look really painful. It looked like it
I
knocked
do want
the
to
wind
know
out
what
of
you were wearing in that, because that is not your best look. But
That's 2013 BMX style, right there.
the overshirt with the undershirt going like 3 inches.
That
longer.
was 2009 style.
To get to Philip Thomas's question, I think if you have a big break, the assumption would be that you want that big break and that you're going to be going full time. So I think the perspective would shift there. Right now, when I stream the Bro Show or my small streams or a video game, I'm not expecting the big break. I'm not. That's just not my level. But I think my perspective would shift if I go, I'm about to do this for full time. This is my career. Absolutely, I would want everyone to know, because that's your brand. That's your lifeline. That is your child's food, man. You want people to know. You want people to think positive about it. You want to embrace that lifestyle. So, if I caught a big break, yeah, absolutely, I would endorse everything I was doing and let everybody know. But being down here in the small pond where I'm comfortable, I don't want any of that, right? I don't want the limelight. I just want, the little light that peeks through the curtain, every 2 weeks on the Bro Show. That's where I want to sit.
Everyone knows that I stream, but I know with 100% certainty that no one will ever turn up. None of my family or friends or anything, and I love it. I love it so much because it means I can be myself. I don't have to worry about, like you guys have said, them spilling any sensitive information. So yeah, I'm not all that worried. If they did decide to turn up, I'm still gonna do what I do. I'm still gonna be me. Yeah. I do understand the worry about it though, because you don't want the people that you know in real life to judge you for what you do online.
I actually have a good question. I kind of want to start with Natsu on this one, because we were joking about a long-standing joke in GSP. I'm not going to hint at what that joke was, but all of us have a wife, a spouse, a girlfriend, kids who have been on the internet on our streaming channels. What kind of steps did you guys take, or what kind of thoughts went through your mind when you were first ready to introduce them to streaming? Because I know for me, when we did the GST Kids Day, I was extremely hesitant at first. And until I had the reassurance that we had like 12 mods in the chat, like I wasn't going to do it. But now I feel more comfortable, but I still take those steps. So when you were ready to put your family in that light, and I'll keep it short, just one or two thoughts. But what went through your head before you introduced them to streaming and gaming online?
One of the things that I took a precaution is making sure that the area that I was projecting, like everybody knows about the Sophie cam. And it took me a while. I wanted her to not be as young. She's now 5. I think when I first got her the Sophie cam, she was about 4. Biggest thing that I was took into consideration was making sure that none of my background that I'm capturing gives out any private information. You didn't want to put that one poster, like say just something as simple as the calendar for the school year in the background. Then you're giving out information, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave like a piece of mail, because my daughter has a thing where she likes all the junk mail that we receive in mail. She likes to keep those and kind of stack them and color on them and things like that. You didn't want to leave that piece of paper projecting my address out. That was one of the biggest things. Like if I'm going to have the camera, the area has to be clean, and it has to be a specific area that I'm capturing. I'm not going to capture the whole room, only capturing a certain segment. Second of all is letting my wife know that, for those of you who don't know, that've been hanging out with me, Sophie wants to be a YouTuber. That's like her thing. Dad, can I be a YouTuber? Is like a question I get daily. And she always says, don't forget to like my video. And she does it to like almost everybody. If you like me, I'll kill my dad on Minecraft. I'm like, what the hell? Is this a show all the time or what? What is going on?
It's like a YouTube playlist series.
So kind of to add on to that is that she wants to be a YouTuber. So I'm kind of giving that exposure, but very, very monetized, very, very, so to speak, being the director and everything else, and kind of showing her that I am recording her. And she loves seeing herself. Even if I do a small clip just recording, she loves herself. Oh, Dad, this is when I was playing Roblox and this, that, and the other. But it's also because she wants it, but I'm there supervising the whole way and what's being projected and what's being exposed. And my wife doesn't really like it, so to speak, but she knows that she gets super excited, and that's time for her and I to spend together. So I see it as a way to spend time with my kid. She gets super excited. She gets this big Roblox main, but she also loves Minecraft. We're not going to talk about a certain pig that she disliked, but going on with that, I think those are my two main things.
Why? Why you got to bring it up?
I had Brittany on the stream. She did the Sims stream that people grinded out channel points for that. And I think they liked that stream more than my own streams. But beyond that, I kind of told her going in. One, I kind of had mods in my mod channel in Discord. I'm like, hey, I need like one or two people that can hang out for this hour or however long she's going, because she's a female and people are going to show up. So when you move up in the directory, random people start coming in. And I knew that was going to happen. So I kind of hung out as best I could, but I'm taking care of Jace while she was doing her thing that night. But my favorite moment of that, the moderators did a great job, but I did have one guy call me a simp for talking in chat when she was playing The Sims. And I thought about it. I'm just like, you're damn right I'm a simp for my woman. Hell yeah. That's my girlfriend. So it was just kind of weird to see that. But again, it's always the people you least expect. Someone just came in, saw a bunch of people talking to, a female, and just simp. I didn't want any of that. I didn't even want Brittany to be like, what's a simp? She don't know that kind of internet lingo. She don't have any perspective into what that kind of stuff is. So I just told moderators, I go, just remove stuff. I go, if you don't think it should be there, remove it. We didn't have too many issues, but don't ask, just remove, Other than that, generally, I don't see too many issues, but to Natso's, point, there was a level of anonymity. I keep saying that word just to practice the syllables in my head. But I don't leave any like mail, because I have that camera you guys have seen, that camera that sits on my desk. So I try and make sure there's nothing with labels or addresses or anything of the sort on my desk. I try and keep my desk clear of all that whenever I go live, because you never know,
Yeah. You guys are a lot more proactive than me. When I introduced Jen, it was just to prove that she was real.
Same. Oh,
same. I wasn't gonna say the joke, but it's funny.
Same. Everybody thought I made up a wife and kids. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck would do that.
Jen had the House Flipper series going. You guys used to do House Flipper stuff.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Sage.
Yep.
That was like the big thing for a while.
I got lucky with that as well, because when she did do the week of streaming, all of GST were there. So we had no issues with trolls, nothing. Everyone had
kind of like her more than you, so if you could bring her on, that'd be great.
She would be here, but she's actually asleep. So, if we could keep it down, that'd be appreciated.
It's only 5 p.m.
No, it's not.
6 p.m.
6. 6.
Oh,
And she's been
wow.
asleep since. She's
The
been asleep
sun's still
since
up.
3.
Hey,
Well,
off
you know.
topic, but good for her to know. Restaurant Flippers coming out soon.
Don't.
Hey,
Don't.
she might want to know. She seemed to really like that game, so I've been telling people about it. I
Yeah.
saw it on Steam.
It was on
Restaurant
Steam.
Flippers.
Not so send it to us. We got stream keys.
Yeah,
for
Not So
days.
gave us keys to it for early access. It's really fun, man.
Fucking
We
hate
always-
y'all.
Oh, everything comes full circle. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we have to take some proactive steps. Whether you're way into being like in a producer role and you control everything, or whether you're like Flap and you just kind of let it run its course. I think we all have those discussions before we put our families and our loved ones out there, because if you're not and you're just kind of shoving it in people's faces per se, it's a dangerous world.
Oh, can I just say as well? I specifically remember one of your streams, team, of you saying, "I don't give a fuck. My address is," and
I
then
didn't say
laid it
that.
out.
I think that night I was
Really?
a little drunk, but the VOD has been removed. So
Well, I have a
Okay.
clip here.
Well,
Let me
I
share
have
my
a
screen.
so
that was please don't. Look, everybody has seen me in a dress. Okay, stop it. Enough of that shit. I'm done with that.
same.
I think that when you
Everyone's seen Brosine naked.
oh,
Wow.
we did.
Oh, the bro show
Everything.
intro. It
Oh,
took a
but
lot
not
of
that,
time.
and the,
Took a lot
We
of
also
time to
saw you
edit
in
that.
drag.
Oh yeah, Roberta.
He just
That was the
had a flashback to it.
Oh
Hmm.
man, those were the days.
Charlemagne, we had them all. God, what a weird group of people this is, huh?
oh man. Mm.
We've had some interesting life experiences together.
God. Yeah, I think because of each other.
It's all your fault. You're the one that came up with this show.
You don't need no extra help, my guy. So don't throw me in there.
So we
Oh,
need
that
that
wasn't
not
my
so
idea,
drag
was it?
stream. Nah, it was all the ladies.
Yeah,
Sage,
I'm
Jen,
quite upset
Taz.
not so didn't join in.
Yikes!
It's that
What we got to
beard,
do
man.
to get you an address?
You don't have enough money.
At least he's
Okay,
honest.
hold on. Where's Kickstarter?
Stop.
The world doesn't have enough money. is what he meant.
That's what he meant.
They can't even print enough. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's start closing our thoughts. We've been talking a really good discussion. It's been an hour plus. That's fantastic, by the way. Let's go ahead and get final thoughts going in. I'll start with Brosine, then we'll move over to Flap, and then we'll end with my dude Tomb. Get in and get out. No, I'm just playing.
You guys can catch me at Twitch TV/Brosine. Schedule is very random. However, every other Saturday we have an episode of The Bro Show. It's my new project where we interview fabulous streamers. Hopefully Tombstone is one of those returning streamers soon. Got him on my radar. Haven't pitched him an invite yet, but it's on. Here's your formal. It's coming soon, Tombstone. But it's a great show. It's about an hour long where we interview and surprise our guests with something random that I think of and produce solely on my own. Very excited about it. And feel free to check it out.
My closing thoughts. If anyone is or has a tie in to Maker's Mark, can you get and send me another bottle of whiskey because I'm running out? Thank you.
I'm going to mail you an MRE of biscuits and gravy.
Restart your digestive system.
Where can we find you at Flap? What are you still doing? Tell us.
Twitter, Flap and Smack, YouTube, Flap and Smack, Twitch. I do sometimes videos on there.
And also, yes.
That's it. Yes.
Yes. For me right now, all my effort in streaming and in collaboration is working with Team Serious and United Vindication. I've spent a lot of my time running tournaments. I've spent a lot of my time shoutcasting and just being a part of podcasts and getting my voice out there more than anything else. So I'm over on Twitch, but I haven't streamed in a really long time. So you can find me working with Team Serious, especially on Sunday mornings. or you can find me in United Vindication hanging out, just being a part of my family. And for lack of a better term, these are my family. So whether I'm talking with Flap, Brosine, Natso, whoever it is, you're going to find me in those two places, Team Serious Discord or United Vindication Discord. That's about it.
With that being said, don't forget all this will be in the show notes after on YouTube VOD, and then the website will have wonderful links for these people where to check them out. Discord invites to their Discords, but you can all find us in one centralized location, Team Serious. Everything we've ever talked about will be on the website, teamseriousdfw.com, including a nice little segment for the podcast where you can go back and listen to it audio only. But if you want to watch us with the whole video in it, you can check us out on YouTube, and all those wonderful links will be in the description. I'd like to thank everybody who always comes out and show us love. I like all people that always support us. Matt, shout out to the moderators and administrators of Team Serious, but all these beautiful and wonderful people. If you are interested and you love to drink coffee, Team Serious is sponsored by Gamer Grind, ! Gamer Grind. And you want a nice little discount code on us for supporting us, TSDFW will give you a 5% discount at checkout. Go ahead and order your coffee today. I recommend Kill Streak. It's delicious. I drink my coffee black. But with that being said, we have a multitude of different vendors we are sponsored with. There's a bunch of nice links, not only on the website, but they're also in the panels below. With that being said, I would like to thank everybody today for being here again. Another wonderful episode number 4 of the Serious Gentlemen. And I want everybody to have a safe and wonderful work week. And with that, remember, always stay serious.